folks. Just got home, just done the Carols gig with Nick Tansley and co. We just played an outdoor stage in Porirua and a park thing. It's pretty cool actually. That's why I'm wearing this ridiculous shirt. and it's piping hot. I don't know if you can tell, but it's really hot. I probably look like my face is shiny from all the sunscreen and summer here in Wellington. And I played this guitar. It was great. Actually, surprisingly, I've always been a neck pickup guy. That's kind of me. But I ended up using that a lot, those two. And of course, noise cancelling. But, I mean, there's that kind of tone, but I also did like this a lot. Just like that sound. Works really well. And I was kind of messing around with a few different, so that's like that kind of lead tone, right? That tempo's pretty slow. And then I use the clean tone, use this kind of crunch tone, but that I'd use on the bridge pickup. And I got that bridge pickup in exactly the right place now. I had to replace the foam underneath it and push it up and it's come out really good. But one sound I did use a lot was this, which is basically the same clean sound, but I crank the delays up. Can you hear this? Are you guys hearing this all properly? Let me know in the chat, because I never know. And I use that a lot, and I did kind of stuff like this. Oh, cheers, Jason. How you doing, man? So I use those sort of tones. I just turned the microphone off because you can't really hear the volume swell if you hear the microphone picking up the strings. But it worked really well, and now I'm out of tune. And of course I came back to the dog was going crazy. He'd been home for about 5 hours, which is just a long time for him. Yeah, I think it was 25 degrees today. It was windy, but it was hot. And in my studio here, it's been closed up all day, so when it's closed up like this, it kind of gets a bit ridiculous in here. But I wanted to jump on and do this and kind of do a live stream. So if you have any questions, any stuff you want me to cover, then just shout out. Yeah, but I had to do this now because I've got to go and pick up my wife and daughter from the airport when they get back. Cheers, everybody. So grab a drink, join me. Play some music, answer some questions, and whatever else you want to know. That's how these live streams work. So the delays are loud, but they're not crazy loud. You know what I mean? Could probably crank that up a bit, actually. It's an analog stereo delay. Quite like that. I wonder what 100% sounds like. I'm tempted not to play that properly because it'll get copyright. Kind of want a little more delays on that too. Let's do that. Salmon colored Floyd. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I ended up using that sound a lot. And funny enough, one of my favorite tones ever has always been the tremolo, this sound. And I think I used it once on the whole gig, and that was only because I'd forgotten. I hadn't used it in the whole gig, and I kind of thought, oh, I kind of could hear some tremolo here. But I used wah-wah, and that actually worked really well. I set up a wah-wah patch in my Fractal, and I hadn't used it until today. And it sounds like this. That one. And it's just it's an auto wah, so it's sweeping because I didn't want to have to use an expression pedal to do it. I just wanted to kind of get it going and just get the kind of loud. See, this is automatic. It was pretty good. But I used this exact setup of what you're hearing now. I just went direct to the front of house. Oh, hello from India. Hello from Wellington, New Zealand. Never been to India. I'd love to go there one day. Eddie says it's 8:45 a.m. in Netherlands. Chilly here. Yeah, I imagine it is. You guys are on the other side of the world, so it's winter time there, where it's summer here. Cheers to that. Probably not the time for wine, but grab a cup of coffee if you like and join me. Never been to the Netherlands either. I was thinking about that Sus2 video. I don't know if you guys saw that, the Sus2 thing I put out today about the inversions, you know, you have. And then, you know, instead of just this, you know, on any set of strings. That's a cool one. All right, but I was thinking about it, like, if you spread those chords out, they're pretty cool too, right? So instead of just C, D, G, all in order, put the C down an octave. So that's C, D, G. That's kind of an interesting sound. Right, and then you could also go. But go. Big Ed WO says Stuttgart, Germany, 2 degrees C. Ouch. Mind you, 2 degrees, it never gets to 2 degrees in Wellington. About 5 is about as cold as it ever gets here. But the thing we have is we have like sideways wind, which is like, you know, Wellington is apparently second windiest city in the world behind Chicago in terms of gust. I remember reading that somewhere. Don't know how true that is. But yeah, when we do get the gusts of wind, 130k, 140k. No, we're not talking like storm weather. This is just like wind. Like gusty, really gusty. So even though it's not that cold, it like feels colder and it's super annoying more than anything. You're walking down the road, you got your guitar on your back and you feel it like getting smashed around. So yeah, that's why the get up is because playing Christmas carols for the kids. You know, it was really great. You know, there was lots of kids came out, parents bring their kids out, come and hang and be part of, you know, this time of year. I love it. It's just, everyone's in a good spirit. Everyone's like enjoying themselves. And we just play music and people are really appreciative of it. It's great. Think about doing a video on this song. Do that, I don't know. Sound. No, let's get a better tone. Cheers, Jason. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing a proper video of that and actually working something up and kind of getting it figured out. And as you can see, I'm kind of fumbling my way through it. I don't normally play the melody. When we do that, it's normally the singer's own. So there, I'm just trying to figure out like how they fit together. I know it's So Eddie says Christmas coming. Yes, midwinter, shortest day. It's funny because cheers, everybody. When we were in the UK for Christmas in 2019, it was very different being, Christmas being, New Zealand, it's Christmas is summertime. So being in Christmas, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, right? Snow. We don't have that here. There's no snow in Christmas time because it's summer. It's like at the moment, it's probably 25 degrees here. So it's pretty hot. And so we, so to actually have a winter Christmas was kind of a different experience, for a Kiwi when we were in London. And yeah, dark by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's kind of hard work. I think I had the FR10, the loudest I've ever had it today on the gig. I cranked the shit out of that thing today. And it was totally fine. No distortion, the unwanted kind of distortion. That thing, the 10's the way to go. Now this is a big stage, it was a big outdoor stage. We had monitors and the sound guy was like, do you want any in the monitor or anything? I was like, nah. So I just, had one little 10-inch speaker and the bass was, we were talking big subs. So every time the bass player played, sure, he had an amp, but he also had the subs kind of going and pushing so you could feel it on stage. And I could hear myself the whole time. I probably would have liked to have had a second one. I think 2 for live outdoor gigs would be really good because then you get stereo. I got to work out some kind of flash substitutions for that song if I'm going to record it. couple of years ago, I did a video where I played sort of a Bill Frisell-inspired version of Silent Night, you know. And I put all these Bill Frisell-isms in it, you know. Like that. Yeah, I'll figure something out. Oh, Jeffrey Boyle, how are you? Written by Franz Gruber, Austrian chaplain. Is that what you said? He never got a penny for it. Really? Wow. Imagine that. You wrote something that famous. And, you know, and you kind of want to be set up for life after you write something like that, don't you? But, you know, guess that's how it kind of goes. Oh, I'm glad you're well. Yeah. But then, you know, it was probably written a long time ago, right? And the thing is, if you write you know, it probably wasn't protections for songwriters and that kind of stuff back in those days. You know, it does get to a point where it's outside of the protections. I guess it's at 75 years and then it becomes public domain. I'm going to play a tune. I enjoyed that Master Blaster track the other day. I was, it was interesting because I know that song, but I didn't know that arrangement. You know, all of those videos that I do like that, they're all just one take. I never practice. I just go, right, what am I going to do today? And I go, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I kind of was wondering at the first section if the horn line was going to come in or not, and it didn't, right? So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to play 3 cycles, I guess it is, because there's one just kind of essentially drums and bass, and there's one with kind of guitar and keys stuff and that come in, and then there's the horn line, and then it's the melody, right? But then I was like, after that, like, what form is it going to take? And I noticed with that backing track, there wasn't really any setup with the sections, so it was kind of hard to tell which was which, and so I sort of fumbled my way through it. But I'm going to play, I feel like playing this tune. Let's get this going. Hopefully there's sound coming through. There should be. This is a Pat Metheny tune. Pat Metheny, one of my favorite musicians, if you didn't know. And if you didn't know, you should, because I think he's awesome. Alright, hopefully that will play. Alright.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, let's get the level sorted. the middle of that, I kind of thought, I wonder if I can play that bit in another position, and then totally hammed it. And then I started reading someone's comments, and Jeffrey says, enjoying the music from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and then a cowboy. So kind of caught my attention. I was like, oh, a cowboy from Philadelphia. Never been to Philly. Where are we? I noticed interesting thing just then. I noticed when you bring the tone control down, lose a whole lot of volume. Interesting. Simon says, AI change maybe? Christmas in the sun, red wine while I'm eating breakfast. We once had Christmas in the Middle East with the kids. That was cool. Oh, nice. Cheers. Thanks, Simon. Yeah, I'm really happy with this guitar now. I mean, the best thing I did was change the pickups on it. And I tried a bunch of different pickups on this. I've tried mini humbuckers. I even had some Strat pickups mounted in P90 covers. Yeah, none of them kind of really... I'll put that there. And none of them really quite got it happening, you know. And the wiring had been dicked around with so many times by various people. And so, yeah, I was talking to Glenn about it. I was like, what do I do? Should I just, like, change the wiring? Or, like, you know, is there some kind of... I'd seen somewhere someone did a video about it, some kind of capacity you can move that will change the resonant frequency of a pickup. And I was like, is that the solution? And they said, look, why don't I just make you some new pickups? And we were talking about it, and he said, I said, you know, I kind of want it more vintagey. I feel like this pushes too hard, these P90s, which means they're fatter and the mid-range is voice lower, you know. I said, can we get something that's kind of more vintagey, you know? So these are actually quite low output P90s. They're kind of more where a Strat would be. I think they're 6.5K in those two, and that one's a 7.5K. So that's really where a Strat pickup would be. But bigger magnetic field, so they sound different. And of course, maple top with mahogany body and a maple neck. And it's glue-in, no bolt-on, so it's gonna sound different, you know. So all of those things contribute to a different sounding guitar. Kind of Strat-like, but not really. It's like a fat Strat. I kind of want to hear more verb on that too. Let's go. Oh, I meant to put 2.5 seconds in and I put 25 seconds. And that's kind of cool. 25-second reverb. That's one of the crazy stuff with this Fractal stuff. I wonder how long you can go. You can go 100-second reverb. How long is 100 seconds? What? A minute and over a minute and a half? That's kind of what I thought would all just become a mumbly mess. But let's go back to that 25 seconds, which I did by accident. Cool thing about this is you could, if you stay in the same key and you don't get too kind of chromatic on it, could be kind of cool. Funny how you play a little bit of a couple of notes and you hear a theme. Yeah, she wasn't what I meant to do. That's where I was aiming for. No, I kind of want to hear that slightly longer. Yeah, there we go. The other thing I like to do with this oh, that's good. Just take some of the top end off reverb. Oh, Sean Bray, how you doing, man? Watching from British Columbia, Canada. Nice. Never been to Canada, but we will be coming to Alaska in January, so that's pretty close, actually. Similar kind of weather, I'd imagine. Cheers. I think Alaska, I was looking the range of temperatures, it could get down to about -10. And I was talking to my daughter about it, and I was like, have you ever been in -10 weather before? And she was like, no, and I kind of thought about it. I thought, neither have I. That's better. And I thought, neither have I. I don't think I've ever actually been in -10. Oh, there we go. That's what I needed. It needed some adjustment. For what I was playing before, that's the kind of sound. Yeah, so we'll be in Alaska for a week in January, early January, and then going up to LA to go to the NAMM show. So January's going to be kind of a little hit and miss with these daily videos. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to make that work. I'm going to try, but there's like 3 days where we're flying, so I'm kind of... Because to get to Alaska, we have to go Wellington to Auckland, which is an hour. But, you know, you got 2-hour check-in before because you're about to do an international flight. And then it's 12 hours from Auckland to Los Angeles. And then we fly Los Angeles to Seattle, which I think is 4 or 5 hours, maybe 6. And then we do Seattle to Alaska. So by then I'll be pretty dead. But I'm going to damn well try and get some videos out for you all. But there'll definitely be some cool videos at the NAMM show, because I'm going to go and like nerd out on all the new pedals and see, and I'll be sharing videos and stuff from that. And I saw today that the Fearless Flyers are going to be playing there. I was actually going to text Mark Lettieri and just say, hey, look, are you going to be at the NAMM show? Let's hang. And maybe see if he wanted to do a guest slot on Guitar Daily. But when I saw that they were playing in LA in January, I thought, no, I'm just going to go to the show. That'll be great. I've never seen that band, but I've seen Mark play a bunch of times. And I've seen Nate Smith play. Actually, I saw Nate Smith at the Blue Whale, which is a famous club in Los Angeles, which unfortunately no longer exists. It closed. Anything you want to hear? Want to know? Anything I can help with? So we just had the Christmas Carol show, as I mentioned. That's why I got this ridiculous shirt on and hat and stuff. And I thought we had one more show. We were supposed to play at a place called Brewtown next week, which is kind of a beer place. And it's quite awesome. I quite like going there. You know, it sort of caters to the beer drinking market, which, you know, so just like ribs and beer and pizza and all that sort of stuff. All food and things that I like. But the gig's been cancelled. Bummer. So today was the last one of the Christmas Carol gigs, which is fine. When I say Christmas Carol, we kind of funk it up and rock it up a lot. Like it's a full band, and we're 4 singers today, so they were giving it a bit, you know. It was good. But on Thursday, I'm doing a film soundtrack. The movie The Holiday. Do you guys know that movie? I didn't know it, but I looked it up and watched it the other night. And we'll do... orchestra, so I don't know what size orchestra. I think it'll be about a 30-piece maybe orchestra, and we'll be playing the soundtrack from The Holiday, which was Hans Zimmer wrote that music. So I've got the charts now. They came through the other day, and there's quite a lot of nylon string guitar, and it's like probably 70% acoustic guitar and then 30% electric. So I'll probably take this guitar actually, because when I watched the movie, I heard a bunch of electric guitar sounds that sounded like a Strat. And I've been enjoying playing this for that sort of sound, you know, like the fat Strat sound. So I thought I'll take this, and I'll take a backup, because, you know, with the tremolo, Got to be careful. And there's some jazz guitar bits in it too, so I thought, well, I'll probably take the Sco guitar, the JSM, because then if I break a string on this, I can always play the electric stuff on that. But that'll do a jazz guitar sound well. And then I'll take my Nolan string and then which is an Ibanez, just a cheap one, and it works fine. It's got a pickup in it. And then I've got a Martin D18, late 70s, early 80s one. And I'll take that for the acoustic stuff. I'll be home for Christmas. No, I wish I knew how to play that. Simon says, sad when iconic venues close. We love the original Lennox Lounge in New York. Yeah, 55 Bar in New York too. That was one of my favorites to go to, and that's gone now. I remember going and see Wayne Krantz play there, and I never saw Mike Stern play there, but I knew Mike played there a lot. And, like, I think he did Wednesdays and Krantz did Thursdays or something like that every week. So it was iconic, and now it's gone. But that's how it goes. In Wellington, it was Shigozaki was kind of our 55 bar and that closed. So, yeah. But anyway, so what I was saying with that movie soundtrack, so it's going to be kind of challenging because let's just say there's some classical musicians playing instruments that are not probably their forte, like electric bass and the second guitar. Second guitarist is a classical guitarist, which is fine, but, we'll see what he's like on electric. Probably not great. We'll see what he's like on steel string acoustic, if he even has one, and if it has a pickup, and which I don't mind that stuff. Like if someone's not great, I'm just gonna work on nailing my parts. But it's hard if you got to play stuff together. Then it's kind of I'd rather not have someone play than have someone play who's going to be out of time or play with the wrong feel or the wrong sound, or if they can't use a pick. Like those classical guys, it's all finger style, and so they're really crappy with the pick. Usually, so fingers crossed he's all right. And there's a lot of slower tempos in this stuff, and there's going to be a lot of like reading empty bars and having to come in with a critical part, because a lot of the guitar parts in it are pretty critical. Like a lot of that soundtrack is kind of pretty sparse, but it's like long string parts that'll happen for a while, and then a couple of notes of a guitar for a little melodic theme, and then there'll be something on the screen, then a little couple of notes. So they kind of have to be in the right place. Not like you can just put them wherever you like. I started working on another cool tune yesterday too, actually, and I'm going to work this up, and I'm thinking I'm going to try and make a video about it. It'd be a really good one to do as a looper thing. Oh, the other thing I'm going to do too is I'm going to do a video about the FM3 and about how I'm going to set up for this movie soundtrack gig, because I kind of was thinking about it, and I thought I could set up a clean sound on scene 1. Because there's sort of these clean sounds, and I need clean sound with chorus, so I'll set that up on scene 4. That means I can toggle between scene 1 and scene 4. And then there's one kind of heavier overdrive sound, so I'll just use what I normally do, but I'll set it up on scene 2. And then I'll probably set up like some kind of lead tone, which is a little bit more, but cleaner, but more of a boost. Those will be the first 4 scenes, and then in the next 2 scenes, what I thought I'd do is switch. Instead of input 1, I'll go to input 2. So input 1 electric guitar goes off, and then input 2, which will be attached to one of the acoustic guitars, comes in, and I'll probably run a compressor, because I like a little bit of compression on acoustic guitar. It really goes a long way, and a bit of verb, and then that'll be the acoustic channel, and then I'll set up, so it'll be scene 3 and then scene 6, which is the alternate on the switch, because I toggle. Scene 6, I'm going to do the same thing, but probably a drier version in case the sound man without compression or whatever, That way I can kind of have 6 scenes. I think that's all I'm going to need for that show. I don't think there's anything more than that. And then I can run my electrics and my acoustic through it, and I'll have an EQ on the acoustic patch so I can dial it in. Should be pretty good. So I'll talk about that process. Greetings from the Tron. Greg, so I wonder if you know Jason, because Jason's from that kind of area too. Cheers. The other person I know from the Tron is the legendary Jeremy Mail. Do you know if you know Jeremy Mail, Greg? Oh, you're in Cambridge, that's right. Yeah, of course you were. I knew you were in Cambridge, Jason. Cheers. Yeah, Jeremy Mail's out there in the Tron too. I've done a bunch of things with him actually. Movie soundtrack we did where we got to school, got together actually in a school in Cambridge. I wonder if that's the same school you're at, Jason. And we did at the school, really amazing school. You know, full Pro Tools setup and the whole thing, and went into the school and we locked it up for 2 days, and we just they had this massive big screen up on the stage, and we just watched the film and improvised this music to it. And we'd sort of, Jeremy's really good at picking tempos for things, so he'd watch something and he'd go, the tempo should be this, you know. And then he'd go, okay, it's like a scene where like they're getting chased in a car, so it needs to be this kind of vibe. So we'd sort of work that for a little while, and then we'd record something, then we move on to the next scene. And you know, we did this all for 2 whole days and got the score not only composed but recorded for a movie called Penny Black. It was awesome. It was so much fun. You know, hilarious movie. Joe, the director's a great dude too, and he's a good friend now. But we also there was this crack up scene in it where they're running away from someone, and they're on the road and they're getting chased, and the person's in a tractor like coming after them, and the tractor's going like 10 kilometers an hour, and they're looking back going, you know, so just silly stuff like that. It was pretty funny. But yeah, that was really good. Nick Tipping was playing bass, and Jeremy Badger was playing drums, and Chris Lamb Sam, and Adam Page was in town, so he came and played some stuff as well. Yeah, it was awesome. It was so much fun. And then I did a record at with Jeremy at Otago University. He was the Mozart fellow at Otago University for a year. So they flew me down. I went and did a workshop for the students, guitar workshop, music, composition, all that stuff. And then we hit the studio and just jammed some stuff for a couple of days. And Everlong. I don't know any Everlong songs. I wish I did. Sorry, some guitars. Yeah, Jeremy's a great dude. What can I play for you? What should I do? Any songs? Any requests? You probably choose songs that I don't know how to play, but if it's something I know, I'm happy to do it. You know, I heard this on the radio today, and I just thought, what a great song. Such a rock pig. So the question was there, could you do some super Locrian improv? So I had to, since I had that 5 chord. That's why I'd never get the gig with AC/DC. I'd be fired for that kind of crap. Yeah, Super Locrian's an interesting one. It's not as hard as you think if you sort of get your head around it, right? Because the first thing you need to do is you're just thinking up a step, right? You're thinking E flat, jazz minor. But over D, right? On a 5 chord. And the thing with it is you've got to really get this kind of sound in your head. You know, then it makes sense. Have you got your school uniform? What does that mean, Greg? Do you think this is my school uniform? Maybe if I lived in the Pacific Islands or something, this might be my school uniform. No, we just did a Christmas Carol show. Or have you got your school uniform? Is that a... Oh, I get it, the AC/DC reference. Jason says, I've got a lifelong love of Bill Withers and AC/DC too. Yeah, I got it. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today. I'm tired. It's been a day. It was a 2-hour gig, right? Which is not too bad, but it was 2 hours without a break. I haven't done one of those for a while, you know, and sort of, we did one the other day, and so 2 hours standing on stage playing these tunes beginning to end. So by the end of it, I was like, man, my legs are sore. Like, I'm getting to be an old man. Was Bill Withers' Lovely Day? I think he was, wasn't he? This on. It's a little messy actually. Let's do the other one. I should actually, I was thinking next year I want to hit the road a bit more and kind of go and play in some of the smaller towns around New Zealand. So Cambridge, we should do something, Jason. I don't really care about the money. It's not about that for me. It's just to come and do something, play a gig somewhere, maybe do some teaching, whatever. Hamilton would be great to come and do. It's been a minute since I've played in Hamilton. We last played there with Ellie Harper, singer. And time before that, I played there with Joey Defrancesco and Mike Stern and Brenda Boykin with Roger's band. And that was so much fun. It was great. Although I'd cut my finger from here to here, right the way around. So I had 3 fingers for that Mike Stern tour, which made it kind of tricky. But yeah, I've been thinking about it. I've got a camper van, so I don't need accommodation anywhere. I can just kind of cruise in my van, and it's completely set up. You know, fridge, sink, toilet, bed. Could just kind of go and do it. But yeah, it'd be awesome to kind of hit the road. And I thought maybe I'll do that kind of before it gets too cold, like, you know, sort of April time, something like that. Kind of hit the road and go and see some parts of New Zealand, especially up north. I haven't really been up that way that much. And there was talk of going to the Waiheke Island Jazz Festival, but I was also talking with Tauranga, and then the Tauranga thing fell through, but I think by then it was too late to kind of hit up Waiheke. It'd be great to go up there. It's such a beautiful part of the country. Samba Party. Oh, well, if you saw Mike Stern with Bob Shepherd and Roger, that was me. I was playing guitar on that too. Because Shep was playing, I think Shep was playing tenor 1 on that gig because the tenor player got sick or something had happened. So Shep came out and come and played horn. Cheers. So you would have been at that gig. Yeah, because I was in Roger's band at that time. More. Reese, there's any chance you could play something from Hand Jive by Sco? Yeah, that's one of my favorite Sco albums. Let's get that tempo right. Let's get this, because that will be good. All right. Don't know if this will come through. Hopefully. Whoa, that's weird. Just crashed. Don't be crashing on me. don't be stopping. It's Drum Genius in my iPad. Thanks, man. Cheers, Reese. Thanks, Greg. Yeah, it's an interesting guitar. It's definitely not the easiest guitar to play. I find with this guitar, like if I play my other PRS, I can play like much faster tempos. Everything seems to just sort of flow on it. Feels just easier to play. On this, maybe it's something about the unfinished neck on it, which was done before I got it, which it's quite grippy. You know, like if you kind of if you were to touch the guitar here, you would go, oh, it just feels like normal, like a lacquered neck. And this feels kind of, see what I mean? You can kind of see it's gripping with my hand against it, which means it definitely plays slower, but it makes me play a different way. And the thing I like about this guitar, and the reason I'm playing this so much at the moment, is it makes me play a certain way. Like on the Carol's gig tonight, it doesn't need me to shred over anything. So it's like, well, because I know my chops are going to be as limited on it, I'll probably get about 80% of what I can do on my other guitar. It's going to force me to kind of be more musical, and that's definitely a good thing. And yeah, it's definitely really versatile. So you got sweet neck pickup. But one thing that's surprising about P90s is the in-between sounds. And if I go to the other one, between them, and if it was in tune. It's so hot here at the moment. Guitars kind of wreaks havoc with guitars a bit. So there's all those things. The only thing it does is it doesn't do is I'd much rather have a humbucker here. I'm a humbucker and the bridge guy. That's me through and through. But then you'd lose that position too, right? You wouldn't have. And that's a super sweet sound. I mean, even with a lead tone. And that's the bridge pickup, but it's got to remember about, don't know if you can hear that, but the noise that you get with P90s, one of those things. But I've got other guitars with noises pickups if I need that kind of thing. So I'm gonna have to go in a minute, folks. I'm afraid. I always enjoy doing these live streams on Sundays. I do it every week, every Sunday live stream. So if you've just joined me, thank you so much for being here. But I do videos every day on YouTube at the moment. I'm going to try and keep that up, but I'm actually going to take a break over Christmas for a little bit. I'm feeling a bit wiped out. The daily schedule of the stuff is tough, you know what I mean? So you have those days when you're not feeling it, or you're feeling sick or whatever. And so I'm going to take a break, because I think I'll be doing better stuff for you all if I take a break. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break over then, and as I said, I'm going to be in the US in January, so I'm not kind of sure. I don't think I'll be able to do that, just the nature of all the travel we're doing and all that. But there'll be some cool NAMM footage, I'm sure. There's about to be a bunch of cool guitars there and stuff. I'm taking my Telecaster with me. It's at the moment at Rory's getting, he's going to put some threaded inserts in so I can take the neck off. and I'm going to take the neck off for that travel. So I will have the Telecaster. One of the reasons I went with the Telecaster over one of my other guitars that I could have had modified is Tele has such a thin headstock that it'll fit in a plastic tube easier than all the others. Also too, I think if I could have one guitar, a Tele or kind of one of the guitars that'll do it all. And the biggest risk of that thing is because of all the connecting flights. Be nothing worse than your guitar not getting put on the plane in Seattle and it's going around the roundabout. Just what happened with Chris Kane when he came here and we did that tour with Chris. His guitar got to San Francisco. I think it was LA maybe, because he lives in San Jose. So I think he went to San Francisco and then he flew to LA, I think. No, he went San Francisco to Sydney. And when he got to Sydney, his guitar was going around the roundabout. No, he didn't pick it up. He just thought it would be connected through, and it wasn't for some reason. It terrifies me, and your guitar not arriving or anything, because then you don't have it when you need it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, with the Tele, I better take the neck off, and I got some gigs where I'm going to have to travel quite a bit. And next year, in February, I'm going to Nelson to do the opera in the park with the Christchurch Symphony. I've done that gig before, but it's usually the NZSO that I've done it with, or I think Orchestra Wellington did it one year. But for the last couple of years, it's been the Christchurch Symphony. But it's nice to be going down and playing with them. So we'll be flying to Christchurch, rehearsing there, and then we fly to Nelson, and then we play this big outdoor concert. There's about 20,000 people there. But I thought I might actually take the Tele for that gig, because I can take the neck off and just carry it on the plane. Put the neck back on when I get to rehearsal, boom, we're into the thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, anyway, I'm going to have to split people, but thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate all the support I get on this channel, you know, the lovely comments people had about that Master Blaster video and all the things I do, you know, about the 335 video and whatever. You're all awesome. So I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks very much for joining me. Cheers.